Yeah, well, so thank you very much for the kind introduction and the beautiful music and the invitation to be with you today. What I'd like to tell you is that I have many, many reasons why I'm an important person and you must listen to me today. And they have all to do with credentials and degrees and all that. However, there's one accolade that you must really, really remember. Prepare to be impressed. I attended Belmont High School. Anybody? Everywhere I go, there's Belmont people. We're everywhere. Downtown LA and Echo Park. So I grew up in Echo Park. And so standing before you is not the one time, but the two-time Belmont High School Swinging Sweethearts drill team captain. I know, it's almost too much to imagine. I know you're here today, however, to take California transportation industry beyond all limits. And that's what we do in education as well. As you saw in the story of Alexia, Think Together partners with schools and districts across California to change the odds for kids. You see, we believe that every child deserves the premium education that only some currently receive. No matter where they live, whether it's La Puente, like Alexia, or Echo Park, like Robin, every child deserves a world-class education. We provide academic and enrichment support to vulnerable students mostly, so that they can succeed in school and out of school as well. And we partner with principals and teachers and district office administrators, counselors, and other staff to transform schools and districts into places that have powerful learning experiences for every child. We don't believe in any limits either. We know that a great education blows the roof off of any limit. That's what educational justice is. But the current reality in California is a bit troubling because not all students experience limitless education. Here's a map of our state with all the counties. Turns out that there are approximately 6 million students in California. 2 million of them are on the wrong side of the achievement gap. 2 million of them are not meeting expectations. And they generally represent the most vulnerable populations. What this map shows is the green areas, if you can spot them, are counties where the majority of students exceed academic expectations. The yellow is where the majority of students meet expectations. And the rest are counties where the majority of students are not meeting academic expectations. How does that make sense? In a state that leads the world in industry and entrepreneurship, that a third of our students are struggling. Let's remember though, that the 2 million students we're talking about are not numbers or statistics, they're people, like Kyle. They represent real people who are from real families, who live in real neighborhoods and go to their schools. It's a troubling fact that some students tend to experience overwhelming success, while other groups of students have a long legacy of struggling year after year. This situation severely limits industry, every industry, from attracting, recruiting, and maintaining the highest quality workforce. The reason for student failure is complex, but here's an empowering thought about this. Now, this is a Robinism, be ready. My second most important accomplishment is that I am the mother of 4 children that were born in 5 years to me. I finally figured it out and we stopped. So, what I'd like to share with you, however, is that, okay, not so funny, is that when one of my 4 children, and now they're young adults, When one of them acts up, we smack one down. Chancla, as we say. Slipper. But when all four are acting up at the same time, it's not the individual children. You must look at your husband, because it must be a family systems problem. I say that because every system is perfectly designed to get the results it's currently getting. If 4 out of 4 kids are acting up, there's a family system at play. In your industries, all good and all not so good are a result of systems, unless they're anomalies. The same is true for education. So without question, the 2 million struggling students are not a situation where we have 2 million individual students who need a chancla. That's not the case. Instead, it is a systems issue. And you, business folks, more than anybody, understand systems failures, yes? And you understand, however, that if you're good at diagnosing system failures, you can redesign your system and improve your outcome. The only way you continue to get the same outcome is if you don't change the system. Well, we have over 2 decades of working with school systems, and by this time, we really understand them well. Let me give you an example of what can happen if you redesign a school system. This is a district, Linwood Unified. Anybody know Linwood? Yes? A little more enthusiasm for Linwood, please? Thank you. Thank you. Actually, it was a very, very struggling place about 10 or 12 years ago, especially it's right next to Compton. But the district has almost 100% students in poverty, almost 100% minority students, mostly Latino, and a percentage of African American students, and 40% of the kids are learning English. It's got all of the social conditions that are challenging in schools. At that time, the district was on the verge of legal and fiscal demise, with many administrators being indicted and others having addresses in locations that you can only visit on Tuesdays. And some of you know what I'm talking about. That's okay, so do I. So, students on every measure were failing. What I want you to remember is 2 numbers. One is 56%. Remember that one. At this time, 50% of the students in Linwood Unified were graduating. That means, got it, don't got it, got it, don't got it. Almost half of the students were not graduating. The other number I'd like you to remember is 18%. And that is, at that time, 18% of students were graduating university eligible. That is, having completed the coursework and gotten the grades to be able to apply to a 4-year university. Anything that could possibly go wrong at that time had gone wrong. Well, after partnering and redesigning the systems, I'm very, very, very proud to share with you that Linwood's graduation rate, remember what it was? 56. It is now 93% and climbing. True story. And what was the university eligibility rate? 18. It is now 53%. 53%, exceeding the state average, by the way. It also is one of 3 districts in the United States and Canada that received the College Board Award for having increased the number of students, minority students, taking advanced placement courses and passing them, which is amazing. And if you take advanced placement courses in high school, you don't have to take that in college. It reduces the time that you're in college, or allows you to advance, and reduces your financial liability. So this is what I'd like to share with you. That the percentage of students who leave schools in California university eligible vary depending on the demographic. And so this even makes the Linwood story that much more remarkable, in that 50% of white students graduate from California University eligible, and Linwood is currently at 53. But this is not educational justice. This is not fairness. This morning, your speaker, I overheard say that the word equity is used a lot, and he prefers to call it justice. And so I think that educational equity or educational justice is a measure of a school's fairness, of a school system's fairness. This is not fair. So here's what we're gonna do to make sure that you get a highly skilled, highly motivated, highly educated, diverse workforce that you need. What we're going to do, and what we've been doing, and we love help, is to start by making sure that every single student in California has the opportunity to and actually graduates from high school university eligible. Now, not every student is going to just decide to go to university. I have 4 children. One didn't. I'm just saying. However, that level of education produces a person who will be the smartest, the most educated, the most skilled person in any endeavor they choose, whatever field. And the goal is absolutely attainable. Linwood is just one of many, many stories. Our vision at Think Together is that every child will have the premium education that only some currently experience, no matter where they live, no matter their demographic, and no matter their circumstance. Demographics need not determine destiny. The fact that you invited me to speak, I'm not so sure about you, but demonstrates that you see a connection between education and your industry, that you have compassion and care for the young people of our state. So, clearly, I'm just a neighborhood girl with a kick-bottom education. I had the good fortune to end up getting a doctorate from Stanford University from some twist of fate. And what that has afforded me is this. Look at me now. There's 1,300 of you, and you're all looking at me. Take you back to my drill team experience, I can handle big crowds. So now, I'd like to end by asking you to symbolically partner with us to educate the workforce of tomorrow by lifting your glass. Thank you. And from the very, very bottom of my heart, may each of you experience boundless success in your personal and professional lives, and may every Alexia and every Kyle and even every Robin experience the life-changing education that will empower them to join you in making California the most innovative, the most prosperous, the most courageous, and the most compassionate state in the union. Beyond any limit, salud. Thank you so much, everybody.